Well, clouds are sticking around as we've had a few gloomy days here, but I think it's nice and welcome after we had such a hot and dry August. But we do see some clearer skies up to the north into South Dakota. Our O'Neill Skycam sees a little bit of more thin clouds out there, a little bit of blue sky there at the top of the screen as well, but still very overcast here around the Tri-Cities area. Even a little bit of drizzle here and there. It's not really even showing up on radar, but we had a few spots of drizzle through the day today. Looking at some of the surface features, we've got an upper level low over the Colorado Rockies right now. That's where you see some of these clouds spinning around in that counterclockwise direction, but on the lee of those mountains there, a little bit of a high pressure ridge extending up towards the Great Lakes there. So we're seeing a little bit of diverging in the winds at the surface, but still very cool, very cloudy around our area. That's going to continue at least until tomorrow. And by Saturday, we'll see those clouds begin to break apart for most of our area. So that's going to allow our temperatures to warm up into the 80s, and it's going to be a pretty dry week ahead. After we get the last bit of rain on Friday there, a good chance of rain, around 70% there. So definitely going to be seeing more rain, but we continue that warming trend that we've started today, getting into the 50s, 60s tomorrow, then 70s and 80s as we head into next week. But once again, still pretty sunny and dry as we head into next week. Temperatures around the area ranging from the low 60s off towards our north, where it's a little bit sunnier in some of these areas, so they're warming up a little bit more. See some temperatures, at least the colors there, more into the yellow, warmer colors up there in the South Dakota area, but here still pretty chilly, even 49 right now in Smith Center, Kansas. Winds are mostly diverging around the area, which is that ridge of high pressure we were talking about. Not really enough to clear out these clouds that we've got, but enough to keep any thunderstorms from developing, at least right now. Winds are mostly around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Looking at satellite and radar, we see a few patches of sunshine we've had through the day, especially across the sand hills up towards the Highway 20 corridor, and even some rain out there in the Panhandle. But as I mentioned, we've had a few drizzle patches through the day today here around the Tri-Cities area, but it's not enough to really show up on radar at least. But looking at the 3-day estimated rainfall over the last 72 hours, we've seen a good bit of rain across the area and in places where we really need it, especially here between Kearney County and Adams County, where we are in that level 3 drought, the severe drought. But 2.5 inches at best is not even enough to really make up for what we are behind since August. But some places only saw about a ½ inch. Some places saw, like I said, up to about 2.5 inches. Through Futurecast, though, we've got another shot of rain before everything clears out. And that's mostly going to start tonight around 10:30 or so. We've got this around the Highway 83 corridor. That'll start to move towards the north. This is around that upper level low that's over the Rockies right now. So it'll be mostly moving from south to north across the area. Maybe skirting over the Tri-Cities area by mid-morning tomorrow. So we'll probably see a little bit of light rain. It's not going to amount to much, and then maybe even some thunderstorms tomorrow night moving into eastern Nebraska. How much rain is going to come from this? Not a lot, but it's still enough that it's going to be measurable at least. We'll see anywhere from a ½ inch to 1 inch here across the central sandhills and in towards eastern Nebraska as well. So not a lot of rain. We still could use it here around the Tri-Cities area, but we might be seeing another chance a little bit later on in the forecast period. Lows overnight tonight dropping down to around 50 degrees for the Tri-Cities, some 40s across the sandhills as well, and even into the 30s out in the Panhandle. So our day planner tomorrow, not a lot of wind. Fortunately, it's not going to be a breezy day, but most of the rain chances are going to taper off by midday, starting to see a little bit of clearing there in the afternoon and evening hours. Highs are only going to be in the 60s, though, still around 15 degrees below average, but we'll be warming up into the weekend. Stick around, we've got more news right after this.